Hello and welcome everybody to our today's online academy. Today's topic is all about manufacturing information, and today we want to take a look at what manufacturing information are and what we can use them for. So first of all, I want to give you some general information about the topic manufacturing information. First of all, it should be mentioned that in detail, the manufacturing information have no constructive effects at all. They are just additional information. We can find the manufacturing information in the Element Manager under the general rules. So if you open up your Element Manager, then we switch to general rules, and here we can find the manufacturing information. With the help of manufacturing information, you have the possibility to influence part names, for example. You can control the information that is stored inside of your part list, inside of the output, for example. And you can transfer parts to the part list or to your NC list. As you can see under default settings, you can say if a part should be in your BOM, in your bills of material, or in the cut list, or if a NC program should be generated. Then we have also the option string, which you can use for drawers, for example. Also we have the string position, where you have 3 options: initial element, intermediate element, and final element. So good for drawers, as I already mentioned. And then last but not least, we have the veneer ID. For the topic veneer ID, we have an online academy that is already existing. This online academy you can find in our support center. Just one moment, I'm going to show you where you can find it. So if you log in to our support center, in this case English for sure, then under media library, then you have to go a little bit back in time. It's in EMOS 12, so a little bit older one. And here you can find the online academy for creating of cutting pattern parts with veneer wall paneling. So this is the online academy for the veneer idea if you are interested in. Okay, then next we have the column commercial information. In the commercial information, you can also define whether a part is to be a purchased part, for example. Then you have the possibility to assign an article number to a part definition. And under the next column, part info, you can store some additional information. Here you have a drop-down list where it's nothing in it, so you have the possibility to insert your own text, for example. And if you now would save the principle, then you could choose out of the ident-info1, the drop-down list. Now you could choose out of this list, and you also have the possibility to remove the things that you have saved for the part information or the ident-info1. Okay. Also, it should be mentioned that you also have the possibility to work with variables inside of the part information. And you also could store these information in the IX property palette, so in the drawing space. But if you would do this, then it would be a modification. This is what you have to know. Where can you use the manufacturing information? You can use manufacturing information for connectors, for stretchable purchase parts, for part definitions, for construction principles, and for articles. And today we will work with 3 of these possibilities. So we take a look at the part definition level, we take a look at the construction principle level, and the article level. Yeah, generally you could say that the manufacturing information should be stored on the part definition level and not on the construction principle level, because the purpose of this is that the manufacturing information of the child parts of a multi-part element, for example, would be overwritten by the manufacturing information of the construction principle. Also, the manufacturing information that are defined at the construction principle level in the article designer, yeah, as I said, would override the manufacturing information of the child part that is assigned or yeah, in the assigned part definition of the construction principle. So yeah, the child parts would be overridden by the construction principle. This is why we have 3 different steps for the exercise. So first of all, we will work with manufacturing information on part definition level, then on construction principle level, and last but not least on article level. For each of these 3 steps, I have different examples. So first of all, as I already said, we are going to start with the part definition level, and therefore I'm going to create a small example article. So I'm going to open up the article designer in top view, and I'm going to define the size, which is 800 in height, 600 in width, and 500 in depth. Yeah, and we'll test this topic with the help of a framed door. So we will have a multi-part element. Yeah, and the framed door consists out of several part definitions, as I said, that are combined to a multi-part element, so that we can test the manufacturing information on part definition level. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to insert a top shelf, a bottom shelf. I've already prepared all the construction principles that I'm going to need. Left side panel and the right side panel. Then we have a door, which in this case I'm going to show you in the next step. And we have a back panel. Okay, let's take a look at the door. As I already mentioned, the door is a multi-part element, which you can see in this preview picture. And in this case, I don't have any manufacturing information. But as we know, the multi-part element consists out of 3 part definitions. In this case, it's the filling. Then we have the frame horizontal, and we have the frame vertical. Okay. First of all, we work without manufacturing information so that you can see what happens if we create an output, so a part list. And first of all, we build our article up in the drawing space. We also save the article with a new name. Let's call it OA, Online Academy, underline MI for manufacturing information, to make it a little bit more shorter. Here we have our article, as you can see, an easy example for a framed door. And first of all, to get an output, we have to save this new drawing as an order. So I'm going to create a new order. which is called Online Academy Manufacturing Information. And now I want to create an output. So we switch to the output column part list. And then let's say we want a part list of our article. And now what we see is that all the different parts of our multi-part element are labeled as door. So here, for example, we have the filling, which is door. Then we have I don't know if it is the horizontal or the vertical frame part, because they are all labeled as door. And this is what we want to change, and this is what we can use the manufacturing information for. So I'm going to close the part list first of all, and then I'm going to switch to the main data and here to the element manager. Because now what I have to do is that I have to create this new manufacturing information. Okay, to general rules, manufacturing information. Here I already have created a small folder structure. So these are the folders that we are going to need for the Online Academy. And all our manufacturing information will be created out of the standard principle. So first of all, I have to create 3 new principles for the 3 parts. So for filling, for the horizontal frame, and for the vertical frame. Then let's rename the standard principle into Online Academy, MI for manufacturing information, then FD for frame door, for example, and then we have the horizontal frame. Okay, so due to the fact that we already have seen that all our parts inside of the part list are labeled as door, I want to get another part name. So here's still test. That's wrong. Okay, so I think I have to delete it out of here. No, it should be fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so first of all, I have to change the part name that should, or that I want inside of the part list. So here I have the possibility to choose a part name out of the pre-configured list. So I could take a look and maybe I will find something that fits, but in this case I want to create something new. So I'm going to insert a new name, which is frame horizontal. And then I just have to save my principle. And yeah, that's for this Online Academy everything. So pretty easy. Yeah, then we also have a vertical frame. So I'm just going to create a new principle, which is called vertical. Then the part name is not horizontal, but vertical. And then we need a third one, which is for the filling. Maybe we also should insert Online Academy to our part name, then it's easier for us to recognize it. So save. Then we add Online Academy for the other 2 as well. And then, as everybody knows, that we have to move these 3 principles to our folder that we have created it for. So Control X for cut out, and then Control V for insert or for paste. Okay, now we have the 3 manufacturing information. Then we can close the element manager again. We also could insert the manufacturing information in the element manager. be possible too, but I want to do it over the article designer. So I say modify article. Then I'm going to switch to my door. Then to the part definition. And here I have my multi-part element, and here I have the three child parts. So here I have to insert the manufacturing information. So first for the filling, I click on the 3-point button. Then I choose the filling, of course. Oh, I see I have forgot to change the name. It's not frame vertical, it's filling. Then we have the frame horizontal. And then as the third one, we have the frame vertical. Okay. Then we go back to the article designer. So we save the article and we are going to override it. Yeah, so visible, nothing has changed. But now when we save the article, the order again, we can create a new output. So a new part list. So part list for the article. And now we already can see what has changed. So now it's not door anymore, but Online Academy filling for the filling, of course. Then we now can differ which one is a horizontal frame and which one is a vertical frame. So the first step worked pretty well. Okay, then the next step or the next exercise is that we create manufacturing information which we store on construction principle level. Yeah, and this we are going to do with the example of the left and right side panel, just for an example. Yeah, you can insert the manufacturing information on CP level, but here you have to pay attention because that only works if you don't have different materials for top and bottom, because what we are now doing is that we are going to use one part definition for the left but also the right side panel. Yeah, and therefore you must have the same materials for top and bottom due to the fact that we just use one part definition. And yeah, then it won't work with the part rotation, as you already know. Okay, then let's modify our existing article. So let's start with the left side panel. Or first of all, I have to create some new manufacturing information that I can use. So back to the element manager, general rules, manufacturing information. And then we are going to create two new principles. So Online Academy, MI for manufacturing information, and then LS, for example, for left side. And here I'm going to insert the name Online Academy, side panel left. And then I switch the L to an R, and then it's not left, but right. Okay, then again, cut out and move to our folder. And now we can use them for our article. So we modify the existing article. Then we switch to the left side panel and we open up the element manager. And now, as I already have mentioned, as you can see, we have a part definition that is especially for the left side panel, and also the same we have for a right side panel. And as I already mentioned, we are going to use one part definition for left and for right side panel so that we can use the manufacturing information on construction principle level. That means that I'm going to switch to the left side panel again. Click on the 3-point button, and I already have created a part definition that fits for both. And the same I have to do for the right side panel. Now I can choose it out of the drop-down list. And yeah, now we would get the wrong information because now we couldn't differ between left and right side panel. So this is why we have to store the manufacturing information on construction principle level. Yeah. So we can also choose them here. So here we have the manufacturing information. We click on the 3-point button, and then we can choose it out of the list that we have created one step before. And the same we're going to do for the right side panel. Oh, I don't want to assign the right side panel for the left side. Okay, then we can save the article. And then we save the order again. And now with one part definition, we should get the information inside of the part list. So there should be a left side panel and a right side panel with the information that we have stored. So we switch to output, part list for article. And now, as we can see, we have the filling, and on the second side, we have an Online Academy side panel left and an Online Academy side panel right. So as you can see, it's also working on the construction principle level. But as I already said, there you have to pay attention that you have the same material for top and bottom, because otherwise it won't work. Okay, yeah, then last but not least, the third step, we will store manufacturing information on article level. The example is that I want to switch my back panel from a real back panel to a side panel, for example. So if I don't want to create a new construction principle for a back panel, then you also could use side panel as a back panel. And then you have the possibility to insert the manufacturing information also on article level. So first of all, we switch to the element manager and we create a new manufacturing information. Which is for the back panel, so Online Academy manufacturing information, BP for back panel. Then we have a part name, which is Online Academy back panel. Save and move to our list. And then we modify our article again. And now to the back panel. And yeah, as I said, we also could say that we don't want to have a back panel, but a side panel as a back panel. So we switch the element type from back to side panel. Then I switch to the element manager because it's not in the drop-down list, but I already have a construction principle for that. This one. And yeah, then we have to switch to DRIMS so that it is all correct. So the previous should be long. Then we have long, and to the top shelf it should be short, and to the bottom shelf it should be long. So it's easier to check that inside of the 2D preview instead of the 3D preview. But more interesting is where we can store now the manufacturing information that it is, or we can check what we get now as a result. So we save our article. And then we save the order again before we insert the manufacturing information. Output, part list of the article. And as you can see now, we get a filling, we get a bottom shelf, left side panel, right side panel, and here we just get a panel. So yeah, maybe you don't know, or if somebody else sees the part list, then he don't know where is there a third panel. And this is why we want to have the description back panel. So we switch back to the article designer. So we modify our existing article. And then we switch to the back panel. And now the third step is that we activate the checkbox manufacturing information. Then we have the possibility to switch to the element manager. And here we also could insert the manufacturing information, which is Online Academy back panel. Then we save our article last time. And again, the order. And now last time the output, part list. And now instead of a panel, there should be an Online Academy back panel somewhere inside of the list. Where is it? There we have it, Online Academy back panel. So everything worked as we wanted to. And this is the point where the Online Academy is finished today. So that's everything. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, if you have new topics for online academies, just let us know. And until then, have a good time and see you for the next Online Academy. Bye-bye.